Okay, this is the lower body cars follow along. This is a video to watch for those who do like to follow along for all the main lower body car movements. I'm under the assumption that you know how to do all of these movements. If you are confused on where to rotate, where to move, how to execute it properly, go back to the single hip car, knee car, ankle car video. Same thing can be said for the top. If you have troubles with the shoulder cars or anything like that, go to those single videos where I explain how to do it and the compensations within that. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and grab your wall, your upright, or a dowel. All right, so I'm gonna start with my left leg. We're going 3 reps for every single movement. All right, so we're gonna go in with our left leg, external rotation, hacky sack up towards the midline. Maintaining external rotation, I'm swooping my leg out, my knee out, fighting for external rotation until I can't come out to the side any longer. Let that foot drop, go into internal rotation without hiking the hip, right? Internal rotation as we kick that leg back. Come to the midline, knee meets knee. We're going to donkey kick, fire hydrant, drive that knee forward, maintain internal rotation of the hip, trying to get that heel up, drive that knee forward as far as we can until we can't anymore. Let that that foot drop, keep that knee where it's at, trying to fight for height, come into external rotation as that leg swoops towards the midline and down. That's 1. External rotation, swoop up, bring that leg out, pause when you can't go any further, let that foot drop, go into internal rotation, get that heel up towards the sky as you drive that knee back. Donkey kick, reversing it, donkey kick, fire hydrant, drive that knee forward, try and keep that heel up as high as you can for as long as you can, and keep driving that knee forward until you can't anymore. Come into external rotation, come back to center, 1 more. Externally rotate, hacky sack up, maintain external rotation as that knee comes out, pause, let that foot drop, drive your heel up towards the sky, internal rotation of that hip, driving that knee back without hiking the hip, without leaning forward. Back donkey kick, out fire hydrant, drive that knee forward, try and get that heel high, heel high, heel high until you can't anymore. Let it come through, up and around. Good job. All right, other side. So, external rotation, hacky sack up, maintain external rotation as you drive that knee out until you can't anymore. Don't let that hip hike as you go into internal rotation, driving that knee back, that foot back for 1/2. Donkey kick without bananaing into the low back. Fire hydrant, drive that knee forward, keep that heel high until you can't anymore. Externally rotate down, external rotation up, out, let that foot drop, come into internal rotation, drive that foot back, donkey kick, fire hydrant, drive that knee forward until you can't anymore, down, and 1 more time, external rotation, hacky sack up, maintaining external rotation, come out to the side till you can't anymore, let that foot drop. Now drive that heel up and back into the hip, internal rotation, driving that foot and knee back. Good job. Last half, donkey kick, fire hydrant, try and keep that heel high as you drive that knee forward. That's internal rotation of the hip until you can't anymore, and then let that foot drop, go into external rotation, come back to center. All right, just like the upper body car video, if you want to pause and do another 2 reps, if you're doing 5 on each leg, whatever it may be, if you're doing it for time, 30 seconds on each leg, a minute each leg, go ahead and do that. We're moving on. You can do this seated. You can do this in a lot of different ways, honestly. I like to do this seated on the ground or on a bench. I'm grabbing my left leg underneath. So same side leg, same side arm comes underneath, and opposite hand comes underneath that hand, right, to clasp. And I'm going into tibial external rotation, maintaining external rotation, bringing the knee up into extension, internal rotation, down into flexion for 1, external rotation, fighting for external rotation as I come up into extension, internally rotate the tibia, fight for internal rotation as you come into knee flexion for 2, external rotation up, internal rotation down, maintaining internal rotation, come up, external rotation down, so we switch directions, internal rotation up, external rotation down, internal rotation up, external rotation down. Good. Right arm, come underneath right leg, left hand underneath right hand, right? This is for ease and comfort. If you want a meat hook underneath, that's fine too. This is the most comfortable for me. This is what I do. So again, external rotation of the tibia, extend the knee, internal rotation down, external rotation up, internal rotation down, external rotation up, internal rotation down, external rotation up, internal rotation down. Maybe we got an extra rep there. Maintaining internal rotation, switching directions, coming up, external rotation, fighting for external rotation down, internal up, external down, internal up, external down. Good job. Okay, cool. Switching back to the other leg, underneath, ankle cars, point, scoop, up and around, point, scoop, up and around, point, scoop, up and around for 3, point, and switch directions. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Switch legs. Point, scoop, up and around. Point, scoop, up and around. Point, scoop, up and around. Point, pause, switch directions. You can also think about drawing a big circle with your heel, not just your toes as well. Good job. All right, cool. Those are your hip, knee, and ankle cars. Those are the main cars that everyone should at the very least do before their lower body workout. In addition, make sure you do those cars before doing any sort of lower body pails and rails, especially if you have ankle pails rails, do your ankle cars. If you're doing hip external rotation pails rails, do your hip cars before and after, all right? Enjoy your workout.